Hi, I'm Dola Curry, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about some things that I talked with my kids about last night. So I called a family meeting, and I wanted to speak with my adult kids about the current economic situation here in the U.S. So we're all aware of the current situation that's going on overseas. There's a war currently going on that affects us financially because now we have to deal with the high gas prices, and then the high gas prices bleed into other things that we need like food and I think they said the price of cars are going up, furniture, and maybe even some other things that haven't gone up quite yet. But when you do critical thinking about it, if the price of gas that we use to transport the items has gone up, that means that the items are also going to be higher in price. As a matter of fact, the Fed just went in and raised the interest rate another 0.25%, which makes borrowing money more expensive. So things are changing right now, and they're changing very, very fast. I wanted my kids to at least be in a mindset of being prepared. You can't be prepared for everything, but I do want them to consider at least having some level of survival skills or some type of mindset of being resilient. So, the information that I shared with them, I wanted to also share with you. Maybe there's something that I say that helps you, maybe none of it helps you, maybe just one thing helps you. Either way, I just wanted to share this information with other people so that they can at least start thinking about being prepared for a bad situation. There are a lot of scenarios that we could think of that may or may not go on. We really don't know because we really don't know everything that's going on with this particular war. So we have to deal with the effects as they come. And in the meantime, I want to show you how my family is preparing. So, starting with the most important things, I want to start with keeping warm. In the event that maybe the grid goes down, but not even that extreme, when you think about a bad storm, a really bad storm could put the power out. So you have to start thinking about how do I keep my family warm if there's no way to heat the home. So a few things that we did, we took some steps in the home to figure out which rooms catch the most sun. So when you think about how the sunlight comes in, that automatically, naturally heats up a room. So we decided to use one particular room where the sun comes in very strong. It comes in most of the day. And that would be our fallout shelter. That would be our safe haven. That would be our place where everybody would kind of huddle up. And we would use that sunlight to maintain warmth, along with blankets, pajamas, long johns. There are things that you can do for your body. You can dress in layers to hold in your own personal body heat. And if you have kids, small kids, you'll do the same with them as well. Maybe take your blankets and build a fort. Kids do it all the time. But the fact is that enclosure would hold in your body heat better than just being out all over the house. Maybe just pick one room, a lot of sunlight, blankets, dressing layers. Okay. The next thing we want to move to is lighting. Sun is a natural light, of course, but you also need more light in case nighttime comes. You may need some more light for other things that you need to do, because the fact is life is still going on if you have lights or not. So let me show you what I got from my family. This is one of the first little lanterns that we ever bought. It looks pretty cool. It's battery operated. I believe it unscrews right here and you put some batteries in. And I haven't checked to see how much light it is, but what I did do was I bought several of these because they weren't very expensive at all. I got them off of Amazon. And what I did was I put one of these in every closet, every bedroom closet, because we can't plan when the lights may go off or may not go off, but everybody needs to understand that there is a light source here. And I'm going to put some batteries beside each one of these in the closet. The next thing I also bought, because you have to think the long game. So what if you run out of batteries? What if this thing goes on just a hair too long? So I got one of these also. This is a lantern that has a candle inside of it. It came with some extra candles. So you just basically take this attachment off, light the candle. The glass enclosure maintains the flame. It keeps it protected from wind, and it also protects it from being knocked over and causing a worse situation than you're already in. And there's a cool part about it. There's heat that comes off of the top of this. They say you can boil a pot of water. I don't know how much water. They might be maybe a teaspoon of water, but I just hope it doesn't get that bad, so I have to find out. So we'll leave that in here. The next thing I want to move to is try to make sure that you have some type of first aid kit. Maybe bandages, maybe some type of antifungal spray, maybe a can of Lysol, baby wipes. Things that you can think of that would maintain and preserve you if you were like, if you or one of your kids had a wound or something came up that you couldn't get to the doctor. And that's a real possibility nowadays. I mean, the fact is, if gas is that high, nobody's trying to drive too many places. So if you have things in your house that you can go ahead and fix the problem yourself, that would save you. Also, things like, what else do I have? Baby wipes. Oh, a tourniquet. Can't leave out a tourniquet. So this is what I decided. I have these dope little scarves. I have them all over the house, and usually I would buy these to tie my hair up, like on days where I don't want to do my hair. So I would do like a little dope hair wrap or whatever. But I realized that you can use these for several things. Clearly, it's great for a tourniquet. You can wrap this around any limb. It's long enough, and that would choke off that blood supply to maintain the person's blood level and keep them from bleeding out. Also, this is something that could be used as a mask. If you are, sometimes when I'm outside in the yard working, I will take one of these and kind of just put it over. If there's something coming up, like maybe we're turning the compost and I don't want all the dust and stuff to come up in my face, I'll use this. So this is a great, any kind of scarf that you have in the house would be great. Just consider these things before the emergency happens, so that if anything jumps off, you know you got this, you got that. There are ways that you can make it without having to go to the store or call on somebody to come and save you. So also be aware of your medication. In the event that there's an emergency, who knows if you can get refills? Who knows if you can get Tylenol, especially for the kids? Keep ibuprofen, Motrin, Tylenol. When you go to the store, just get a few extra every now and then, because another factor behind that is most of our medication comes from different places because we have outsourced a lot of things. So it seems that things that are supplied from outside of this country, we should try to have those things in our house, because we don't know how sanctions may work, how they may change our supply chain. There are so many possibilities. I don't want to even imagine them all. I just want to try to make sure that I have my home fortified for as long as I possibly can. Moving forward, your food source needs to definitely be on your mind. Your food source needs to be foods that can be preserved for a long amount of times. We're talking canned goods, we're talking sardines, tuna fish. Get the things that you like to eat. Get the things that your kids like to eat. I don't want Spam. My wife continues to ask me about Spam. She offers it to me constantly when we go to the store. She's like, isn't this a good price on Spam? It's not a good price if I'm not going to eat it. Therefore, get things that you know you're going to eat. If you like ramen noodles, get your ramen noodles, stack them up. If you like SpaghettiOs, beefaroni, get that, stack it up. Crackers, any type of things that don't need to be cooked, that don't need much assistance, don't need much help. Like ramen noodles, all they need is a little water. So you have to think about, what if I can't cook? What if I can't get to the store? we have to have some type of maintenance, like some type of food source that we can maintain over time that will help us stay alive as long as possible. So currently, we are trying to work on having at least 1 year of food source where, I mean, literally for 1 year, we don't have to go to the store. We're going to try it. I'll let you know how that works. It's not as unreasonable as you think. You'd be surprised. Moving forward. Now, I wanted to talk about other supplies that I feel like we have gotten away from as a society. Some of the more basic things that we can use to maintain our bodies. Baking soda. Baking soda has been around forever, clearly. So I remember as a child, if we ran out of toothpaste, my mom would get baking soda and give it to us. If we ran out of deodorant, she'd mix the baking soda with some water and make a little paste. That's your deodorant. It'll hold you. Now, I don't know how long it's going to hold you. You might have to go back, make another little paste, swipe it under there. It depends. Bottom line is, it will hold you. The toothpaste, if you don't have it, baking soda, it will get all of this together. It will clean all the fungus and it will hold your breath together. Also, you can use baking soda as a deodorizer. You can use it to wash clothes. It might not get it clean, but it won't be stinking. I promise you that. Moving forward, let's talk about money. Okay, so I'm not going to go into detail about investing because I don't have any information to make a healthy decision about investing right now. There are way too many factors going on and way too many players in this scenario that's going on in Ukraine. I'm clueless, therefore I really can't speak on investing right now. But what I can speak to is saving money. The eating out, the unnecessary driving around, all the extra. I told my kids last night, you better get you some rice and beans. You better get you some crackers and tuna fish. All the eating out needs to stop. It needs to come on down because the flour that is used in most restaurants, bottom line, flour comes from overseas. If the price of flour goes up, eating out becomes more expensive. So take your money and go home and cook. Buy you something and go home and cook. Because you're going to find yourself aggravated with the prices, but still doing the same thing, still buying it, because this is what you do. So you need to retrain yourself and understand that this is not the time for that. There'll be a time for the eating out. I like a nice Olive Garden, but this ain't the time for that. There's a time for everything. Also, with the unnecessary driving around, I don't think I got to speak too much to that. I told my kids last night, all that extra, just hanging out, they already understood. They were tracking because the price of gas will sit you down. Also, don't loan money if you know you can't afford to loan money. Everybody is going to be trying to borrow some money from somebody on some level. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to find themselves in a bad way, and they're going to need extra money. So don't give away money if you know you need your money. Just don't do it. You and your friend may become on benefit, but it won't be because of money. They'll be mad at you because they'll call you stingy. Okay, cool. But you won't be broke. Moving forward. I just want you all to be prepared. I hope that something that I've said has at least started you at least thinking about these things. Maybe just sit with it, think about it realistically, how it affects you. If it doesn't affect you, then hey. But if it is going to affect you, try to find a way to stand up to this problem and be prepared for it. The last thing I wanted to speak to is start considering your long-term and your short-term goals. This will help you with your spending habits. I see that when I am laser focused on a goal and that involves money, I spend my money different because this goal is extremely important to me. So I'm not going to do anything to hinder my goal. If I need money for my goal, I'm not going to spend it on Jordans. I'll just wait till I finish my goal and then go get those J's. So it's all about priorities. Right now is the time to prioritize. You have to prioritize so that you'll be prepared for what may come. Long-term goals, short-term goals. These things are important to each individual person. Optimize your goals. Your goals are not going to be the same as everybody else's goals. It's just not realistic. You may try to make them the same, and then halfway through you'll see that maybe that's good for them and it might not be good for me. So right now is the time to really start leaning in to what's best for you, what's best for your family. Also, I just saw that the president signed a bill that would do something with the Pell Grant. I believe it is going to increase the Pell Grant. You can look into this information. I do see that right now going to school is an excellent option. Excellent option. Right now is a lean time. This is the time to store up. Store up your food. Store up your education. Store up your wisdom. Store up with your family. Pour into the people that are pouring into you. Prioritize what's important right now. Because on the other side of this is what's going to determine a whole lot of things about how the world is changing and where we all individually fit in to this big picture. Right now is the time to lean into storing up and making sure that you have what you need to be prepared for what's about to come. And before I go, one last thing. I have to leave you with the Word of God. The Word of God is strength, is power, and is wisdom in the Word of God. Using the Word of God to guide your life is the best decision you could ever make. I am reading from Proverbs. I believe it is 12 and 11. Whoever works with his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. I want to speak to that and just let you know that right now, take what you have, cultivate it, work your land. What you have shall turn over to more. Work what you have. Anything else that's going on right now that's not working towards your goal, it's for later. Let that go. Run after it later. Right now, lock into your goal. Invest in you. Until next time, be blessed.